Hi guys, I just want to talk about a crazy theory that just came up to my mind. As some of you know, I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones and both the books and the series. And I have this wonderful tarot deck based on Game of Thrones for 2 months, I think now. So this is a little bit cross-theme video, but I think it's interesting for those of you who also like Martin. I think we all are waiting for the final season and how it's gonna end and what's the matter with the Night King, with the White Walkers. What do they really want? And I was thinking about this deck. I didn't bought it when it was published. I didn't bought it immediately. I thought there was a strange idea to put the same characters on many cards. But now when I know this deck better and I took a closer look at it, it all makes sense. For example, let's look at Bran. He's here in a very, very vulnerable position when he needs to give up Winterfell to his enemy. But then he's depicted as a Page of Cups. So he's learning very much, very new things, and he's really perplexed and surprised by what he's learning. He didn't expect himself to be who he is. You who watch, you know who he is. Then he's shown here as having many visions, and he has difficulties with making sense of it. He's not very, very good at navigating this net of memories and the past and the future. So he's a little lost here. But finally, I think his destination is being the hermit. The one who found the light, the one who found the answer. So it all makes sense. There is an arch here in his character, and these cards fit perfectly. Then we have Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, who acts like the magician. Perhaps the darker side of the magician is underlined here because he manipulates people, he manipulates situations, but he really can win in almost every one of them. He has his vision. He knows how to project himself into the future. He knows what is supposed to be on these ships, right? And he expects things to happen in his life. And he's also good with coins. He was the master of coin after all. So again, this character is quite coherent in these cards. Then we have Samuel Tarley, depicted on Temperance, which was quite surprising to me at first. But then I realized Temperance is very much about studying and finding information and trying to find a solution for something by careful study, by taking a little bit of this, a little bit of that, which may be the knowledge in the books. So it makes perfect sense. And when he's finally in the tower, in the old town, he's so happy. He's finally surrounded by all the books he wanted to read. But there's also this smart Sam who knows that there is no use of this Valyrian steel sword in the house of his father. So he's stealing it, and he knows it's for the greatest good, right? I think Dany is the most depicted person in the deck. So she's planning how to be a queen. She's going to learn how to be a queen. She's abundant. She knows she can be proud of herself because whatever she has it because of her work, her vision. And she's the beautiful queen, Queen of Spears, the one who really magnetizes and she's very radiating. And she's a winner, of course. And she's the Empress. And everybody loves her. And people are following her because they love her. I think the greatest difficulties I had was with Jon Snow, who's depicted as both the Emperor and the King of Cups. But who else is he? I mean, he is the loving Emperor. He is the one compassionate king that Westeros may have. So these two cards really complement each other in his character. And that brings me to the final person I want to talk about. And this is the Night King. And Night King in this deck is depicted by two cards. One of them is Judgment. He's resurrecting people here. Well, he's resurrected them into undeads. But still. But what is the Judgment card about? It's about making amends with the past. It's about really saying goodbye to the past, but not by forgetting about it, but by understanding it. So there is some past here that needs to be digested, that perhaps needs to be uncovered. He wants something. He wants to show us something. He wants us to go back to the past. And the second card that was quite surprising to me is King of Swords. Of course, this is the King of Winter. Swords are very, very often associated with winter and air. But think again, King of Swords, he is the master of logic. So there is something very logical in whatever the White Walkers are doing. They want something not because of some whimsical wish, no. They want it because they carefully thought about it. I think it's well thought, whatever they want. I think they think they deserve something, and that's why they attack. That's why they invade beyond the wall. And I was thinking, what do they want? What is characteristic about the White Walkers? You can see several White Walkers in the movie. There were sacrifices made for them, and as you probably know, there were Craster's son sacrificed for them. They were taken by the White Walkers and changed into White Walkers. But only one kind of White Walkers. I mean, where are the women of this kind? We have never seen a one of them. And perhaps that's the problem, because from the legends of Westeros, we know that once there was the Night Queen, and she was ruling along with the Night King of Night's Watch. What happened to women? Are there any? And why aren't they any shown? Perhaps the White Walkers ran out of their own, of the women of their kin, and that's why they are so pissed off. Perhaps there was some agreement between them and people to sacrifice not only sons, but also daughters. And perhaps people forget about it. And now they are coming to take what's theirs. Okay? So that's my idea. I would be very glad to hear what you think of it. I think I have never encountered this side, this view on the mystery of White Walkers. So comment if you like. And I'm very curious what you think about it. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Bye-bye.